Hey everyone, have you ever tried to imagine what heaven is really like? Well, today we're going to take a little peek inside. We're going to hear a super important story about one of God's most beautiful angels and a choice, a single choice that changed everything. You ready to find out what happened? Okay, so let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you have two lumps of something, kind of like clay. One is all hard and dried up, like a rock. The other is super soft and squishy, like Play-Doh. Now, if you wanted to make something cool, which one would be easier to shape? Yeah, the soft one for sure. Keep that idea in your head because we're about to talk about a heart that started to get, well, a little bit hard. Exactly. A soft heart is kind of like that Play-Doh. It's moldable, it's loving, it's open to good things, it's ready for God to fill it with joy. But a hard heart, well, that's like the rock. It gets stiff, it can be selfish, and it closes itself off. And we're about to see just how a heart can go from being super soft to super hard because of the choices we make. And this leads us to our big idea for today. This is super, super important. It says, God gives me freedom to choose because he is love. Think about it for a second. Can you make someone be your best friend? No way. That wouldn't be a real friendship. Love has to be a choice. And that choice, that freedom, is a gift from God because he loves us so much. Okay, let's set the scene. In the very beginning, heaven was, well, perfect. It was this amazing, happy home filled with these incredible angels who just loved God. Imagine a place with no sadness, no fighting, just pure joy and beautiful music. That's what it was like. And in this perfect place, there was one angel who was like the head angel. His name was Lucifer. And wow, here was something special. God made him so beautiful, so smart, so strong. He was even the leader of the whole heavenly choir. God had made him absolutely perfect. But then, something started to change. A little thought, kind of a selfish thought, started to creep into Lucifer's mind. He looked at himself and thought, wow, I am so amazing. He started to forget that God was the one who made him so wonderful. And that feeling, that's called pride. And it was the very first thing that started to make his soft heart get just a little bit stiff. And right after pride came another yucky feeling, jealousy. You know what that is, right? It's when you want something someone else has. Lucifer saw how much God the Father and Jesus were honored, and he wanted all that attention for himself. Jealousy is like a poison, and it made his heart even harder. So here we see two totally different choices, don't we? On one side, you have Lucifer's choice. He said, I will make myself like the Most High. It was all about me, me, me. He wanted to be the boss. But then look at Jesus' choice. He said, I seek not my own will, but the will of him who sent me. See the difference? One is a selfish choice, and the other is a loving one. And what's worse, Lucifer didn't just keep these selfish feelings to himself. Nope. He started spreading them around. He went to the other angels and started whispering lies about God. Can you just imagine? In a place that had only ever known love and truth, suddenly there were lies. And now, every single angel had a really big choice to make. And so all of heaven took sides. A third of the angels, a pretty big group, decided to believe Lucifer's lies. But, and this is the really good part, 2/3 of the angels, that's twice as many, they stayed loyal to God. They chose to trust God's love. But for Lucifer and the angels who followed him, their choice had a really big and really sad consequence. By choosing to turn away from God's love, they couldn't be in God's home anymore. They had to leave heaven. And that's when Lucifer, the morning star, fell from heaven. It was a very sad day. Okay, so I know that's a really sad story, but believe it or not, it actually shows us something incredibly important and wonderful about God. So let's think. What does this story actually show us about God's character? Well, here are the big takeaways. Number 1, God is love. He doesn't force anyone to love him back. Number 2, God is fair. The story tells us he gave Lucifer lots of chances to turn back. And number 3, and this is the big one, God gives us a choice. Because remember, real love has to be a choice. So what does all this mean for you and me right now? Well, every single day, we get to make choices too. And our choices can help keep our hearts soft and open, or they can make them hard and closed off. So the really important question for us is, how can we keep our hearts soft and full of love? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Here are 4 awesome ways. 1, we can read our Bibles. That's where we find all of God's love letters to us. 2, we can pray. Just talk to God like you would your best friend. 3, sing songs about how great God is. And 4, in everything we do, we can try our best to choose what is right. See? Simple things we can do every single day. And that brings us to our memory verse. It's a great one to help us remember all this. It's from the book of Job, and it says, "Let us choose justice for ourselves. Let us know among ourselves what is good." What a powerful reminder that every day God gives us this amazing gift, the gift of choice. Let's use it to choose good things, to choose love, and to keep our hearts soft. Thanks so much for learning with me today.